Do you like fighting from long ranges? Do you like big damage? Do you like characters with flaming heads yet don't want to play Ghost Rider because he's shit tier? Well, look no further, because Dormammu is the character for you in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Dormammu is a solid character all around. While he's not super broken in any regard, he has everything you could want from a character. Decent normals, satisfying combos, great damage, fantastic supers, and more. He's a beast at harassing the enemy from a distance, and he can teleport the screen to keep mobile, so he's not slow by any means. If you like constantly moving around the screen and putting long-range projectiles everywhere, check out Dormammu. Some of Dormammu's pros are his zoning with its strong keep-away tools. He has many long-range normals and specials, so he's great at fighting from a distance. He has a unique mechanic where he can store spells which act as very powerful attacks, and I'll cover this a bit later on, but keep in mind for now that these are great. His damage output, even when not using assists, is really bloody good, so you'll be putting fear into the enemy when you hit them. His Fireball super is very fast and it hits full screen, so you can use it to snipe assists, and finally, he has powerful assists and DHC options. Some of Dormammu's cons are his size, as although he's not quite as large as Sentinel or Nemesis, he's still a large kind of guy, leading to him getting hit by projectile spam if he can't fight back. He's also not that great at close range due to his normals being slow to come out, his assists lack coverage which means you won't be using them to great effect outside of combos, and his ground mobility isn't so great. Dormammu can't wave or plink dash, so you'll have to try jump and teleport everywhere. Out of Dormammu's 3 assists, I recommend Dark Hole. This is a stationary projectile that hits just above the ground, so if your point character has an OTG move like Wolverine or Wesker for example, they can hit the enemy into this assist. Purification is a large vertical pillar of energy that hits as an OTG, but it knocks the enemy high into the air, making follow-up attacks difficult. Liberation isn't great by default, but when you power it up with spells, it can become devastating. However, doing this takes time, and you're most likely better off using another assist for instant results, so overall, I'd recommend using Dark Hole. Standing Light is a burst of energy that has good range and a disjointed hitbox, but it'll miss smaller enemies like Amaterasu or Beautiful Joe. Standing Medium destroys low and medium priority projectiles, so it can be used to stop zoning, but other than that, it's pretty much just combo filler. Standing Heavy has a large hitbox in front of Dormammu, it knocks into the air and has lots of hit stun, and is like the previous move. Crouching Light is like a low-hitting version of Standing Light, but it's slower and has a bit less range. Crouching Medium isn't a low, but it also does destroy low and medium priority projectiles. Crouching Heavy covers the space in front of Dormammu, on the ground and in the air, so it can be an anti-air as well as a combo tool. Launcher is standard in function, but it has a disjointed hitbox, so use this to snipe the enemy into the air from a short distance. Jumping Light is very similar to Standing Light. This move isn't very special, so don't worry about using it. Jumping Medium is a good combo tool that destroys low and medium projectiles. It has more range than Jumping Heavy and Jumping Launcher. Jumping Heavy is a huge upward sweep. This is an instant overhead against big bodies, and you can use it after a diagonal air dash for what I like to call the fish hook. Jumping Launcher is a good air move that hits downwards as a very, very deep cross-up. Dark Matter is performed with Ford and Heavy, and is one of Dormammu's most important tools. On hit, it's a wall bounce, so combine this with a teleport to create a simple left-right mix-up, and you can score a combo after this lands. Flame Carpet is performed with down Ford and Heavy, and while this may seem simple, this move is deadly. While not great in mid-screen like this, if you've got the enemy coming in from the corner, throw this move out and call it assist or do Stalking Flare. This move hits low, so if the enemy cannot escape it, they have to block it, meaning you can keep the pressure on. Dark Hole is performed with quarter circle forward and a button, and it's a stationary circle of energy that hits the enemy multiple times. Light is right in front of Dormammu, Medium is just short of half screen away, and Heavy is just short of full screen away. It can be used as a zoning tool, but its length makes it very committal. You can also perform this move in the air for advanced air combos, but only use this move when in flight, because if you don't, Dormammu will be vulnerable until he lands. Purification is performed with a DP motion and a button, and it's a tall pillar of energy that hits as an OTG. Light is right in front of Dormammu, medium is just short of half screen distance, and heavy is full screen. Use this to frustrate enemies who want to get in by spamming it when you're far away. The enemy can't go under or over it, so it's fantastic to chip enemies to death when they're low on health. It's an important combo tool that can be cancelled into a super for big damage. Mass Charge is performed with a backwards DP motion and a button, and it's Dormammu's teleport. Light is right in front and above of the enemy, medium is the same but behind, and heavy is directly above them, but it's important to note that you're still technically in front of them. This is arguably Dormammu's best mobility tool in both neutral and combos, and you can use it to quickly close the distance between you and the enemy. Keep in mind, however, that you cannot teleport away from the enemy, only towards them. Flight is performed with quarter circle back and launcher. This gives Dormammu access to unlimited air dashes and air specials, so you can use it to quickly traverse around the screen. The startup is kind of slow, so you can be punished when doing it up close, but you can unfly instantly. Dark Spell is performed with quarter circle back and light or medium, and it lets Dormammu gain spells. The amount of spells you have, and which hand has spells, changes the one you get when you cash out. Light spells are destruction, and medium spells are creation. Here's how the spell orders can work, and you can also do this in the air. Liberation is performed with quarter circle back and heavy when you have no spells at all. It's a short range move and it's not very special. If you have one destruction spell, you can use Disappear, this forward hitting explosion that launches a bit on hit. Two destruction spells gives you Feel the Fear, and it's a better version of the previous move. Three destruction spells gives you Return to Dust, which is like the previous move on steroids. It's a full screen OTG explosion that can be linked into a special or super. Use this move lots, it's nuts! One creation spell gives you Careful Now, the Flame Spire. This move isn't amazing as it can be super jumped over, but it does knock upwards on hit. Two creation spells gives HAHAHAHA, an enhanced version of the previous move with 3 spires. Three creation spells gives you Stay Put, a full screen attack that hits low. If this move hits, the enemy cannot jump at all for the next 5 seconds, so you could use this as a knowledge check and watch the enemy panic when they realize they can't jump away. With one of either spell, you can perform Meteor Shower. They fall at a half screen distance and they OTG. While it takes 10 frames of startup for the move to begin, it takes more time for the meteors to actually fall down. With one destruction and 2 creation spells, you can perform an even better version of Meteor Shower. And with 2 destruction and 1 creation spells, you can perform Inferno, this flame pillar move that causes an eruption that also OTGs. Chaotic Flame is performed with quarter circle forward and 2 buttons, and is Dormammu's primary super. This is a standard fireball super that does big damage and has amazing range. This is fantastic to start a DHC or to end a solo combo if you only want to use 1 bar of meter, so use this move lots. Stalking Flare is performed with quarter circle back and 2 buttons, and it's a massive fireball that homes in on the enemy. You can have more than one on screen at once, and there's very little hope of avoiding this move. It does lots of chip damage, but it's very slow on startup, so you can be punished if your opponent has an invincible move. If you want to get Dormammu out of there, do this move and then hard tag out. Dark Dimension is performed with a DP motion, and is Dormammu's level 3. It's an OTG and has good range, and on hit, it goes to this awesome looking cinematic. This super is very fast and amazingly invincible, so if the enemy isn't already blocking it when done up close, this is going to hit them. Dark Dimension is also amazing at securing a kill at the end of a combo, and you can also link this into follow-up attacks if you're quick enough. Dormammu's most basic combo is the Magic Series into Purification into Chaotic Flame, but here are some better combos for you to do. Some of Dormammu's best partners are characters who can help him zone, rush down, or do lots of chip damage over time. Find which one of these appeals to you the most and pick characters that help him do this. Some popular partners for Dormammu include Hagar, Magneto, Doctor Doom, Wesker, Dante, Doctor Strange, Wolverine, and Shumagorath. There are others of course, but these characters come to mind. If you want to watch high-level Dormammu, watch footage from Paradigm, F-Champ, Angelic, and Spartan Throne, just to name a few players. That's all I've got for Dormammu in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Overall, Dormammu is a strong character with access to amazing zoning tools, huge damage, and strong movement tools. If you want to be annoying and run away while getting huge damage in when you do land a hit, check him out. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.